Grant Robinson video. A few years ago, I worked at a country club and I got the opportunity to learn from seasoned professionals the game of golf. Golf is a very extensive subject. There's many topics that involve it, but today I'm going to cover two topics uh, for golfing that any beginner needs to know going into their first time playing golf and from there on out. The first topic today is we're going to talk about the equipment and the clubs and the correct grip that you use on clubs for the different types of clubs that are used. So first, you need your bag. It's essential because you've got a certain amount of clubs that you're going to be using, walking, maybe riding in a cart with. But the bags, it's essential to have your towels. So your towels are mainly for yourself. So if you're sweating, you've got mud, you've got dirt and such. But the towels are also there for the clubs. If you've got a club that's got a wet handle, if you've got clubs that have a little bit of dirt on them, it's easy enough just to get that towel, wipe them clean. And you've also got a simple brush here that attaches to the bag with a string. You can brush off. It's got a pick here to get in the ridges as well. So next thing we have is we have the clubs. The clubs range from irons, woods, drivers, and then you've got your putters as well. So first thing what you use if you walk up to a tee box is you've got your driver. So your driver is your biggest, your heaviest club. This right here is called the head of a driver, and the way it works, you hit it with this side here, and you're coming around. So the driver is made for your longest tee shot. The driver is originally going for about 230 yards. It's not very often that a lot of people make it the correct distances with the clubs, depending on how good you are with the game. But the driver goes about 230 yards, and this is what you hit off of a tee. So when you're first lining up, you're going to set it up on a tee, and you want to get your grip. So there's two grips to golfing that I have learned. The first way is you grab the club with your first hand, pointing your thumb down, and the second one, you can wrap directly over it. And you don't want a super tight grip. You don't want white in the knuckles. You keep it a little bit loose, with a little bit of relaxed. All right. Now the second one is one that's preferred by a lot of other people if they have tweaks in their swings and such. So the second one you're going to do is you're going to grab the club like normal, but you're going to take your pointer finger and your pinky from your other hand, and you're going to cross them over and then wrap your hand around that thumb. All right, this just keeps people's hands from slipping apart, coming around, twisting and such. If you just lock the pinky and the pointer finger and wrap around, still keeping a loose grip, all right, it just kind of keeps your hands together in the same motion when you're swinging at the club. So with the driver, you always want to keep it protected. We've got things such as these are called your driver club heads. So you get it on there, you completely get it. It keeps it clean, keeps it from the weather and such. So that right there is the driver, and then you've got your woods. So there's many different woods that you're able to use. I prefer a 3-wood and a 5-wood. The 3 can make the ball go a little bit farther just because of the angle on the club head. So as you see, I've got it covered nicely. You take it off. Now see, this one's a little bit smaller. It's not as big. There's not as big of a head. This one's not going to go as far. The three woods usually go around 210 yards, while the 5 woods, right here, we got it covered as well. The 5 woods are typically going to go a little bit shorter, probably about 20 yards shorter than that. And as you can see, it looks almost identical. It's just got a different, smaller angle on the head of it right here. So same grip and everything, same swing, just a smaller club makes it go a little bit less farther than the driver. Next thing that we've got is you've got your irons. Now your irons are used, typically if you have a par 3, you can use it on the tee box, but usually you're going to use it on ground, flat grounds, hills, when you're in the fairway. Basically if you go off the track and such, you're going to use them, but with shorter distances, you get the club heads, they get smaller and smaller and smaller. So, they get larger with the club heads. So a 1 is your driver, and you can go all the way down to a 9, which is essentially almost like your pitch wedge. It goes shorter. So the higher the number, the shorter distance the ball is going to travel. All right, so after we get the drivers out of the way in the woods, we're going to come to our irons. Now we're going to start with the lowest number, so the longest distance, and we've got our 3 iron. So as you see with the irons, there's no longer a big round head on it. These are slimmer. Okay, same grip, same swing, same stance and everything. All right, just the only thing you're gonna do is just smoothly go through it. And now with the angle on this is gonna make it shoot straight and far. So the longer I'm here, it makes it, you hit it, you go far. The biggest thing with it is the angle on the clubs. So the 3 iron takes it about 180 yards. So it's almost 200 yards, which is what a lot of people do with the driver instead of the 230 yards typically. But so this is essentially just going to take it the farthest distance for the irons. After the 3, now you've got your 4 iron. The 4 iron's distance is roughly about 170, so it's just about 10 yards shorter than the 3 iron. But as I said, it's not typically that every golfer is able to take each club their desired distance, depending on your abilities and your swings and everything. So with the 4, this is actually one of my favorite clubs. The 4, it's got a long distance to it, but you can also use it as chipping out as such. If you're in the rough, if you're in the trees or something, it's got flat, so you can hit it straight along the ground as well as taking it in the air. After the 4 iron, we get the 5. The 5 iron, it goes about 160 yards, so just 10 less. And as you go down, it just keeps getting less and less. So the 5 iron is really good for also chipping out. It's still, as you can tell, it's a little bit, not too much of an angle, but it does start to slope a little bit more. So with the 5 iron compared to the 3 iron, the 3 iron is going to go a lot more flat, straighter along the ground. But with the 5 iron, it's just starting to pick up and get a little bit of arch to it. So here's the 3, the 4 is a little bit more, the 5, and then you keep on going, and they bring bigger arches for different types of shots. So after the 5, you've got your 6 iron. 6 iron is a really good one because this is when you really start your arches. This one's going to take it, it's going to make it go up in the air and land kind of where you want to, but it's still going to roll. Used when they're supposed to. If you can take a 7 and you can hit it a lot lighter rather than your full swing, you're still going to get a lot of the arch and it's still going to roll a lot after. After the 7 comes the 8 iron, which the 7, like I said, take it down 10. The 7 iron goes about 140 yards, and then the 8 iron coming after that is going to go about 130, which is typically long for an 8 iron, especially for myself. I will use an 8 iron to do shorter shots. I really like the angle on the club. As you can see, it's starting to get a lot more at an angle. And as you rotate it, this one's going to get a lot of air. It's going to roll, but not roll significantly. And you're able to put a lot more backspin on the balls with the more angles that you have also. After the 8 comes the 9. The 9's essentially taking you into the chipping and pitching wedges. The 9's going to get a lot of arch to it. There's not going to be much of there's not going to be much roll after it. A lot of backspin as well. And then you get to your wedges. So you've got a 56 wedge, which is just the angle of it. It's going to shoot it mainly straight up and straight down. And your pitch wedge as well. There are a lot of going up and down. So if you want to hit it over a tree, if you're somewhere and you need to hit it up a hill and such, it goes up and comes down. Next we have is our putters. So I've got 3 kinds of putters. The reason why, just for different distances. This one you can tell is half circle, round. This one, as you can see, is flat surface. It's just for different preferences. One of them you can hit harder and farther. One of them you really have to softly tap, lightly tap things in. The putters usually are a win or lose on the game of golf. If you can putt, you'll probably end up pretty well. So after all that, we're going to come to the etiquette and clubhouse rules. So the main etiquette of golf is you want it to be, you can make it business oriented, you can make it friendly oriented, you can bring people out here that you're being official in front of, or that you're just hanging out and having a good time. When you're on the golf course, you want to always be friendly, especially to the members who pay to keep the place up and running, who pay for the greens to look nice. When a member puts that amount of money into a clubhouse, they're investing in it, and those are the people that are basically allowing for you to come out and play because of the money that they invest. You really want to be nice. When you're on the course, you want to have etiquette, good etiquette, waving to people when you pass them. You want to be quiet when someone's hitting. You stop your cart and acknowledge that someone else is there. You don't want to be a distraction ever. And then the attire goes, as you can see I'm wearing, I've got on some khaki pants with a belt. All right, you want to wear it when you're on the course. You must wear a collar. Men must wear a collar. It's just, I'm sure there's some public golf courses that don't mind, but most member-oriented clubhouses, the men need to wear something more official, a little bit nicer. But with your shoes, a lot of people golf in tennis shoes. You've got your spikes that you're able to wear. You never wear your spikes inside of the clubhouse. You on the range, you're able to dress a little bit more casual. You're not actually on the course. You're on the range. You don't have to have a collar. You're able to be a little bit more casual and relaxed and nonchalant with it. There's a few do's and don'ts with the golf course. Now, the main thing that it works is just always have fun, have a good time, hang out with your friends, never get out of line, don't disrespect any members, respect the people of the clubhouse because those are the people that are helping you, getting you a tee time and set up and everything. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you guys end up taking up golf.